I want to go to the question that I was pondering before I observed you putting these videos out later and later in the day, as you mentioned. And it was this thing with me, and I haven't worked my normal job in 2 months, so I'm at home a lot. I've been putting out a podcast every week, which is normal. I've been doing these live videos for like 7 or 8 weeks as a way to try something different and try to connect with a few more people.
Right.
And I had the thought, am I driven to do this or am I obligated to do this? And I think maybe somehow you've covered it a little bit with your feelings about making these videos some days, but I'm wondering, do you think about that? Do you think about how driven you are to do comedy compared to the days that you're obligated? Because I feel like the days that I feel obligated to do something, it starts to really bring me down. And I know mental health and staying at home all the time, I know those things are kind of tying together. What's your experience been like in that regard, if you even give it any thought?
Yeah, I don't know if I framed it quite in those terms, but it sounds like, have you ever read I think it's called the War of Art?
I think another person on my podcast brought it up a while back, and I have not read it yet.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, if I remember correctly, the premise was sort of like the difference between an amateur artist and a professional artist is the amateur waits for inspiration, but a professional just does the work. So that's how I try to look at it. I don't try to worry too much, like what specifically is motivating me to do it. I just do it because I know if I don't do it, I won't get really good.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if, like, you don't know how much growth you're going to get from each individual video you do or open mic you do, but I know for a fact if I don't do them, I will get no growth.
That's a very good point.
That's how I look at that. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know also if there's like such a dichotomy between being driven and obligated. Like, I'm driven in a larger sense to be a very good comedian. Like that's the end I want. So with that comes like an obligation to sort of put in the work every day, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So
have you felt like, what does it mean to you? Like when you, on a day you're feeling obligated, how is that different than on a day you're feeling driven?
I've been trying to figure this out lately. I recognize in the mornings, I'm not naturally driven, which kind of scares me. Some occasionally, but a lot, like getting in the routine of being home all the time, knowing that I have all day to do the things I want to do. As we get in the afternoon and the evening, that's when I get more and more productive. And that's always kind of been me.
Yeah.
And when I'm having these deep thoughts, it's probably in the morning when it's like, why do I not feel like doing this right now when I thought I wanted to do it? And I kind of go back and forth. But then I do something like after or during I'm doing something like this, it creates a new kind of excitement. It's like, oh yeah, I like doing this. I like connecting with people. And my podcast usually is people I know relatively well or I've spent some time with. And you are one of like 4 people I've never met in person, but I've asked to be on just because I'm curious about something that you're doing. And I see you working so hard to do as much as you can during the pandemic. And I'm fascinated by it. And I think it's inspiring to me to see someone else creating and doing it well. So I want to get to know you. And it's exciting for me to see you on Instagram a couple months ago and then just think, oh, I'll ask him on my podcast. And he'll probably say, yes, I was thinking, and he did. So now we're having a conversation and people get to listen to us and hear about your thoughts. And now hearing you talk about your drive and your obligation, I think that'll help me maybe reconsider the way that I look at it. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I just, I think the thing is just do it. No matter how you feel. Although I have found, I read this other book about it. I am like you. I work much better at night, and I think my default state is just as lazy as one could be. So I'm always battling that. But I found if you can get to a point where you don't think of what you're doing as work, but as more like sort of structured play almost. Like these videos are so dumb, and the days I find I'll catch myself taking them seriously, and then I kind of have to step back and be like, it doesn't matter. Like, the best, like the best videos are the silliest, dumbest ones. So like, it makes no sense to sit here and be anxious and like, freak out about how it's going.
You've involved other people in some of these, people that you were probably staying at home with, whether it's your family or I think your girlfriend. Are they thrilled to be involved, or they're obligated to be involved?
They're very obligated. Yeah, I think they like the one you played. The reason I am playing both characters is because my girlfriend was just sick of it that day, and she was like, "Put on a towel. I don't care. I'm not being, Eve in your stupid thing." She is very supportive, by the way. My whole family is very supportive, but I get that it wears on them.